Queen Elizabeth has had many memorable encounters with famous personalities, from Hollywood stars to world leaders. Number 5. Meeting Marilyn Monroe. In 1956, Queen Elizabeth II crossed paths with one of the most famous stars in Hollywood, Marilyn Monroe. This encounter took place at a royal film performance in London, where the Queen was introduced to many high-profile guests. Despite her glamorous on-screen presence, Monroe was extremely nervous during this meeting. Interestingly, both women were the same age, born just 6 weeks apart, yet came from completely different worlds. Monroe, who was used to the spotlight of Hollywood, found herself in unfamiliar territory, and her anxiety was visible to those around her. It is said that Monroe, in her anxiety, licked off most of her lipstick while waiting in line to meet the Queen. When the moment finally came, Monroe greeted the Queen with a deep curtsy, her signature blonde hair styled to perfection, and her sparkling gown capturing the light. Queen Elizabeth, as always, was the picture of composure, offering a warm but reserved smile as they exchanged pleasantries. The two women shared a brief conversation, though it's reported that Monroe was so overwhelmed that she barely remembered what was said afterward. Despite the short interaction, this meeting became one of the most talked-about encounters between royalty and Hollywood. It was a fascinating moment where the glitz of cinema and the poise of royalty met, leaving an indelible mark on both British and American culture. Monroe later remarked on how she had been in awe of the Queen's grace and composure, a sentiment many shared. Number 4. Meeting Vincent van Gogh. In a rather unique twist of history, Queen Elizabeth II had an extraordinary encounter with the art world through Vincent van Gogh's legacy. Though they never met in person, the Queen was a passionate supporter of the arts. One of the most memorable moments tied to her and Van Gogh came during a special exhibition at Buckingham Palace, showcasing some of his most iconic works. The Queen was said to be particularly captivated by his Sunflower series, which she described as vibrant expressions of life's beauty amidst turmoil, adding that Van Gogh's ability to capture hope through his struggles was truly inspiring. At an intimate reception for artists and patrons at the palace, art historians noted how deeply Van Gogh's posthumous fame resonated with the royal family. Interestingly, Queen Elizabeth privately remarked that his struggles with mental health, alongside his eventual brilliance, highlighted the delicate yet powerful nature of human creativity. She believed that the highs and lows of Van Gogh's life symbolized the resilience of the human spirit, something she felt connected with on a personal level. Although this wasn't a direct encounter between the two, it revealed the Queen's profound connection to culture and art that spanned centuries. Her admiration for Van Gogh's genius serves as a reminder of the timeless impact that art can have long after its creator has passed. Number 3. Meeting Michelle Obama. In a memorable moment during a 2009 state visit, Queen Elizabeth II had an unexpected and historic encounter with the then First Lady of the United States, Michelle Obama. While many expected the visit to follow strict royal protocols, what happened during this meeting broke with tradition in a way that shocked many. During a reception at Buckingham Palace, Michelle Obama, in a spontaneous gesture, placed her arm around the Queen's back, sparking immediate reactions worldwide. According to royal protocol, physical contact with the Queen is only allowed if she initiates it, making this simple gesture a surprising breach of tradition. But what made this moment even more notable was Queen Elizabeth's warm response. Instead of pulling away or seeming offended, the Queen responded by putting her arm around Michelle Obama, sharing a brief, genuine connection. This rare display of mutual warmth between two high-profile figures made headlines and humanized the often rigid royal etiquette. Later, Michelle Obama would write about this moment in her memoir, reflecting on the mutual respect and understanding that seemed to transcend royal protocol. For Queen Elizabeth, known for her strict adherence to royal traditions, this brief, human moment with Michelle Obama stood out as a rare and unforgettable instance of breaking away from the usual formality, creating an iconic image of diplomacy and warmth. Number 2. Meeting Pablo Picasso. Queen Elizabeth II's encounter with Pablo Picasso may not be as well known, but it was certainly one of the most intriguing meetings she had with a prominent figure. In the early 1950s, the Queen attended a prestigious art event where she crossed paths with Picasso, one of the most celebrated artists of the 20th century. Though their meeting was brief, it left a lasting impression on the Spanish painter. Picasso, known for his eccentric and passionate nature, was reportedly mesmerized by the Queen's calm and regal demeanor. He later remarked to friends that meeting Queen Elizabeth felt like coming face to face with an eternal figure of authority. Interestingly, it's said that the Queen was equally fascinated by Picasso's bold personality and the radical nature of his art, though she maintained her composed exterior during the event. This encounter became a fascinating moment where two icons of vastly different worlds, royalty and avant-garde art, briefly collided. While the meeting was formal, it represented the Queen's broad appreciation for culture and art, even from someone as unconventional as Picasso. The surreal nature of this meeting reflects how Queen Elizabeth's role as a monarch often brought her into contact with some of the most influential cultural figures of her time, leaving an indelible mark not only on political leaders, but also on the world of creative minds like Picasso. The exchange of ideas between such contrasting personalities added depth to the Queen's cultural legacy, demonstrating her ability to connect with people beyond her royal duties. Number 1. Meeting Joan Crawford. One of the most surprising and unusual encounters Queen Elizabeth II had was with Hollywood star Joan Crawford. The meeting took place during a royal event in the late 1950s, where the Queen and the renowned actress crossed paths. Known for her strong, commanding presence on screen, Crawford was reportedly nervous and starstruck when meeting the Queen in person. Despite her glamorous public image, Joan later admitted that she had never felt so intimidated in her life. Crawford, usually in control of any room she entered, found herself overwhelmed by the formality and presence of the Queen. It was said that Crawford's hands were trembling, and she struggled to maintain her usual confidence. However, Queen Elizabeth, in her signature way, put her at ease with polite small talk and a warm smile, helping to calm the actress's nerves. This encounter between a monarch and one of Hollywood's biggest icons highlighted how even the most confident personalities could feel the weight of royal protocol. For Joan Crawford, it became a memory she would never forget. A moment where her usual larger-than-life persona was momentarily eclipsed by the quiet power of the Queen. This meeting was a true testament to the Queen's ability to gracefully command any situation, no matter how unusual the company.